Now we're going to take a look at some of the new features of NIF literature. As with the Data Federation, NIF literature has been extensively revised, and I want to go over some of the new features which we hope will make it easier for you to search the literature effectively, particularly for resources, and also to be able to visualize resources that are mentioned inside of papers using NIF's link out feature. So I'm going to type in gene alpha-synuclein, just because these articles display some of these features a little bit better than our cerebellar query. In order to access literature, again, come over to the left navigation and click on Literature. The results are returned with the title, and this will of course take you to PubMed, and also the snippet of or sentences in which the search term occurs. So here you can see probably from the abstract that alpha-synuclein is mentioned here. Here it's in the introduction. Right now, it doesn't seem to be possible to expand the abstracts. I think that that is an omission, and if you think so too, you should type it in the feedback box right here. Bring back the inline abstract browsing. We give a thumbs down for that. Notice here, though, underneath that there is a link out notification on this particular article. NIF has always made use of the NCBI link out feature, and NIF has ported our link outs to NCBI where you can view them inside of PubMed. Here we're taking them the other way around so that you can see the link out features inside the NIF interface. Also, unlike NCBI, which places the link outs rather low down, so they're difficult to find, here we make them very prominent. So if you click on this, this shows any additional resources that have links to this paper. In this case, if we click on it, it takes us to the OMIM database, which has a link out regarding the alpha-synuclein gene. Over here on the left, we have several more options for searching the literature. So first I should note that you may sort by most relevant or by most recent. Again, NIF uses a ranking algorithm to determine what are the most relevant articles for you. This is different than PubMed, which defaults to most recent, but if you would like to do that, you can select most recent here. However, you can also use the search filters on the left to help modify your view. So for example, you can sort them by year, picking only those that are most recent. Again, if you want to get rid of the filter, you come up here and click on the X. You can sort it by author. NIF still will search across the full text of those articles that are available in PubMed Central and in the open access literature. If you only want to search full text, you can select this filter over here, which says require full text, in which case it will only search the open access literature. It will not search any literature that you cannot access. So here you'll notice when I say require full text, all articles have a PubMed Central ID where you can access the full text of the article. This will become very important when we discuss the new annotation tool that NIF is making available through literature, which allows you to insert additional annotations, including link outs, into papers. But we will go over that in a separate tutorial. So again, to remove this filter, I go ahead and I click on the X, and that will return you to the screen before you applied the filter. So we already went over the fact that you can go ahead and select year, author, journal, other sorts of things to make your browsing of the literature easy. One thing that NIF has now made available, which we think will be very, very useful for searching the literature, is you can also now restrict your search to a particular section of the paper. So when you search full text right now, for example, and you're looking for say, an antibody or a database or anything, it will search through the full text, and oftentimes you get a lot of results back because terms will be mentioned in the discussion, they'll be mentioned in the reference lists, so on and so forth, and that makes it very, very difficult. Since NIF is in the business of finding resources, we wanted in particular to be able to search in the material and methods for certain things, because it is most likely that that is where a particular resource is going to be mentioned. So for example, if I type in Jackson Laboratories and I hit search for the full text, this will find anything where Jackson Laboratories is mentioned. If, however, I say I only want to see articles that use resources by the Jackson Lab, it will then restrict those searches, and if we go to that article and look to see where Jackson Labs is mentioned, you see that this used a transgenic animal from the Jackson Laboratories.